deserve every dollar.
Absolutely right. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time on Chase Australia.
Tonight, the state government to fund the Horton pipeline.
Testing ramps up for COVID-19.
Two historic Air Force planes stop traffic.
And North Queensland's first esports facility.
Across Townsville and North Queensland, this is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
The state government has accused Phillip Thompson of breaking his promise to deliver Stage 2 funding for the Horton pipeline. Now, the government's decided to go it alone and will return almost $200 million to Canberra.
Promises are made to be kept, but the state government says this one was broken.
How good is this? The federal government delivering $200 million for long-term water security for Townsville.
They promised $195 million.
This is the federal government not delivering on their promises.
Now the state government has had enough.
Queensland government's made the decision to flush the federal government out of the Horton pipeline project Stage 2.
$195 million will come out of the state government's $51 billion capital works fund. It'll create more than 700 jobs and give Townsville water security into the future. The tender process for Stage 2 of the project will begin almost immediately.
The $195 million will get spent starting from Friday, when we'll put out the first round of tenders for professional services.
But Phillip Thompson says the money is there and it's ready to go. There was just the issue of GST.
They would have clawed 80% back through lower GST payments to Queensland.
Mr Thompson says previously it hasn't been an issue.
$250 million for the Townsville Hospital and Health Service. They didn't say anything then. Nothing. Not boo. Because it wasn't an election year.
But Treasurer Cameron Dick hit back. He says, unlike other states and territories, Queensland hasn't received GST exemption since 2015.
And none of that $13 billion was taken into account in determining GST payments. None of it. There's only one state that has not benefited from a quarantine or an exemption, and that's Queensland.
Mr Thompson says the $195 million now no longer needed for the project will still go towards other developments in Townsville. Georgia Simpson, 7 News.
The member for Thuringowa has met with the Townsville Hospital CEO to explore the possibility of opening up an additional COVID testing clinic in the city. It comes as more than 240 people visited the Kerwin facility over the weekend.
It was the news Queenslanders needed to hear.
Overnight, there have been 0 new cases. That's wonderful news.
The Premier says this week is crucial in containing the virus, so she's urging anyone with symptoms to get tested immediately.
My job is to keep Queenslanders safe. We've been doing a great job. We want to keep that going, and we just want to maintain the lifestyle that we love here in Queensland.
And it seems locals are getting the message. Over the weekend, 244 people were tested at the Kerwin drive-through clinic.
If we can hear the next 14 days of no new cases, I think that will give everyone confidence that we've again been able to get it under control.
Demand has been so high, the clinic has extended its hours and will now open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. The member for Thuringowa has met with health authorities to explore the possibility of opening another drive-through clinic.
They are looking now to set up a second drive-through testing site, and I'll leave it to the HHS to make that announcement.
Georgia Costi, 7 News.
2 historic RAAF planes have arrived in Townsville with a police escort after a mammoth road trip across the state. Thousands of people lined the streets to watch the Mirage fighter jet and Windshield trainer taxi to a final stop at the Aviation Heritage Centre.
As oversized loads go, this one definitely stops traffic. And transporting these aircraft from one end of the state to the other took almost a year of planning.
It's just taken a fairly intensive logistic exercise to get them through Western Queensland, Central Queensland up here.
It's just all fall into place beautifully. It's great.
Back down the track at towns like Moranbah and Banana, we just had so many people come out and just were so interested in what we were doing.
But the RAAF's first supersonic aircraft, the Mirage fighter jet, has finally landed in Townsville.
It's really amazing to see people of Townsville turn out like they have today to watch these aircraft come past on the back of a truck.
The Mirage flew across Townsville skies between the 60s and 80s. Although it was never deployed to the front line, its role in history won't be forgotten.
That is just one fast jet. It's one lovely lady, the French lady there. It just looks like it's going fast while it's standing still.
It's taken more than 6 months to restore the historical aircraft to its former glory. It will be on permanent display alongside the Windshield trainer, which also made the trip at the RAAF Townsville Heritage Centre.
The Windshield's a tough old bird, but it taught our younger pilots how to fly, and it was a very forgiving aeroplane.
Georgia Simpson, 7 News.
A 79-year-old man was taken to hospital after his car almost crashed down an embankment in Rasmussen this morning. Emergency services were called to the two-car smash on Riverwood Drive near Allambie Lane just after 10 a.m.
Luckily enough, the driver has collided with the trees on this side, which stopped him going down the embankment, which could have been a lot messier.
One of the vehicles collided with wheelie bins with rubbish strewn all over the road. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash. The road wasn't fully cleared until after 1:30 p.m.
Townsville has been named as one of Queensland's worst affected areas for homelessness, even before job losses from the pandemic. New data shows 1,300 people are sleeping rough every night.
In the midst of a global pandemic, there are concerns over another growing problem: homelessness.
Yeah, there's definitely people coming forward for support that we've not seen before.
This week's National Homeless Week, and the theme is everybody needs a home.
Figures from Homelessness Australia say across regional and rural areas in Queensland, 13,700 people are sleeping on the street on any given night. While the statistic is sobering, it's not a surprise.
Which flows on, of course, to people's dignity and self-respect and purpose in life.
And there are concerns it could go hand in hand with a decline in mental health.
Certainly remote and regional areas are particularly at risk.
There are now calls for the federal government to address a funding shortfall in social housing.
Poverty is connected to homelessness and suicide and so on. So it's a crescendo effect, if you like. It's a cascading effect that occurs throughout the community.
Georgia Terry, 7 News.
James Cook University students are now able to immerse themselves in esports in a state-of-the-art facility on campus. The precinct is the first of its kind in North Queensland, and it's opening up a new field of gaming for the future.
This may not look like a typical sports training session, but this new $200,000 facility is training Townsville's up-and-coming esports stars.
Globally, tens of millions of people play it every day, and there's tens of millions of dollars invested in it yearly, so it's a fast-growing sport.
They call themselves the Society of Manga, Anime and Gaming, and they already have 60 members.
We have quite a big gaming community here in Townsville, so we're very excited about this space.
Complete with state-of-the-art monitors, graphics and lighting, this type of competition can lead to big earnings.
It's actual cash prizes and companies are getting behind them, backing them, so it is a very amazing thing.
It also allows students to let their imaginations run wild.
I really liked the escapist nature of it and just, challenging yourself in different ways.
But to ensure the gamers aren't getting too sidetracked from their studies, the university has put protocols in place.
When they log in, they've got a 2-hour limit, and then the system will count them down and log them out.
Helping students to level up on a new career path. Georgia Costi, 7 News.
We'll take a break in a moment. The Cowboys unveil their special defence round jersey.
And kids hit the books for the MS Read-a-thon.
I do like it.
I like you back.
One farmer is about to have his heart broken.
It's true, that. She just betrayed me. Hopefully get to the bottom of it tonight and we'll go from there.
The new farmer wants a wife. Tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Shore Insurance is delivering fairness to home and contents insurance in regional Queensland. We've already saved customers $1,200 on average. Why wait until renewal? Switch and save today at shore-insurance.com.au.
If pain in heel, knee or lower back reoccurs, your feet could be the source of the pain. Try Scholl In-Balance Orthotic Insoles. They help reduce stress in the lower body to help relieve pain. Endorsed by the Australian Podiatry Association.
Dental emergency! Blood Kit is here! And so is the great team from the Townsville Dental Centre. Young or old, day or night, Clark Kent and the team from the Townsville Dental Centre to the rescue! Call 1-300-4MY-TEETH.
Hi, I'm Mark Munger from Ingham Road Seafood. Come in and see us for all your fresh local seafood. When it comes to finding fresh local seafoods, there's only one place to go, Ingham Road Seafood.
Delicious Ingham Road Seafood, got to have it now.
Guys, this has just arrived. Beautiful garment. There's a big stain on it. Trust pink, forget hot, half a scoop, cold water from Vanish. I think this is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm up for it. Pop it in the tub, cold water, give it a little bit of a rub. Blows my mind that it is this easy. How beautiful is this blouse? And look, no stain.
For amazing results, just cold wash with Vanish Oxy Action.
This isn't any old product launch. This is your new Tab app launching into space, where its technical prowess is absolutely wasted, where venue mode won't unlock exclusive promos at your local, where live Sky Vision channels are pointless. We could have just launched in at a pub, but space is cooler. Get the homegrown advantage here. Well, not here. Down there where it works. Tab, long may we play.
This is the World Cup of cooking.
Welcome to Plate of Origin.
Sometimes everybody needs us.
Food from all corners of the globe will compete right here in Australia.
Whose country has the best food on the planet?
Let the flames begin! Plate of Origin.
On 7. Tasty, affordable and delicious. What's for dinner in the next break with Coles?
Thanks for joining us here on 7. Vice-Chancellors across regional Queensland are waiting on more details before applying for new funding loans. But the multi-million-dollar support by the state government has been welcomed to try to safeguard jobs.
Universities have been hit hard during the pandemic, but today Vice-Chancellors started their week on a positive note.
Just gives surety to a business, doesn't it? So that's what we're excited about.
The excitement follows yesterday's announcement by the state government of a $150 million rescue package.
This is about keeping their workforce in place during COVID.
It's not a handout, but an interest-free loan, with the money to be paid back in 5 years.
Particularly for regional universities, this sort of support is really critical for us.
We're in a situation where we can, if we need to borrow, we can, and we have the capacity to pay back.
The sector is forecasting a loss of $1 billion this year and could put up to 4,000 jobs at risk. That's partly because of the drastic drop in the number of international students. It's hoped the loan package will allow regional universities to continue operating more or less as normal.
We'll decide as we go along how it applies to us and how much we would be applying for with the loan process.
And don't have to make too many more cuts in the out years, particularly as the international operations start to re-emerge.
Carissa Kemp, 7 News.
Our Cowboys will sport a special camouflage jersey in round 14 against the Rabbitohs. The jersey is to honour those who served in the Defence Force.
Might be useful that the Rabbitohs mightn't be able to see the Cowboys players on the field. Good camouflage and give them a little extra help.
The game will coincide with commemorations for Vietnam Veterans Day.
A young brother and sister are making libraries cool again while supporting a good cause. Charlie and Ella Johnson are taking part in the MS Read-a-thon in honour of their grandmother who died from the debilitating disease.
Charlie enjoys reading books full of action. Little sister Ella likes stories about dogs.
I like reading because, you can just sit down somewhere quiet and just have, time to yourself.
They are two of around 10,000 Queensland kids taking part in the MS Read-a-thon. The Johnson siblings are turning pages for their grandma.
My grandma had MS and she, I think, passed away about a year ago.
Multiple sclerosis is a disease that affects the central nervous system. There's no cure.
Some people lose their sight, some people lose the ability to walk, so it's got really wide range of symptoms.
Money raised from the annual Read-a-thon helps pay for family camps.
At those camps, kids who have a parent living with MS come together, learn about MS and just get to meet other kids who are sharing their journey.
MS Queensland wants to make $2 million this year. Ella and Charlie have already raised $500. The more they read, the more people donate.
We set a goal. My goal was around 20 to 25 books. I've had a head start already.
Sophie Tetzlaff, 7 News.
OK, let's get to the SWAT at 8th, and the Cowboys lose another high-profile figure in the club, mate.
Yeah, they have, Brough. Their recruitment manager, Clint Zammit, has joined Newcastle as North Queensland's CEO spoke today on the club's coach search. More on that next. And Teachers West firing in their quest for a record equalling 6th straight TDRU title.
Hi guys, I'm Colin Fastnich.
I'm May. And I'm Lily.
And today we are making one of the simplest and most hearty chicken soups for under $5 a portion. So today we're using a whole chicken, so we're going to get all the flavour from the bones and then we're going to use the meat in the soup. So it's a double-edged recipe. So what do we need for this recipe, Lily?
Garlic, onion, carrot and celery with apple cider vinegar and soy sauce.
What else do we need, Maeve?
Soup mixed with lentils, split peas and barley.
What herbs are we going to add to our soup?
We got thyme, bay leaves and rosemary.
What we're going to do is we're going to sweat off our vegetables in a little bit of olive oil.
Now you want to stir to sweat it all down.
Okay, after 5 minutes we're going to add our chicken to the vegetables.
Now I'm going to add rosemary, bay leaves and thyme.
Give it a good scattering in there. It's going to give great flavour. Now we're going to add our water, enough to cover. Now we're going to add our soy sauce. So this gives it beautiful colour and it also adds a seasoning. So a good glug of soy sauce. And then for a bit of acidity, we're going to add a splash of vinegar. Any vinegar is fine. I'm using apple cider vinegar.
So now we're going to bring it to the boil and then simmer it for 15 minutes. The chicken's been cooking for 15 minutes. Now we're going to add the soup mix in to cook for another 10 minutes.
Okay, so we've removed our chicken from this beautiful broth and soup. Now all we're going to do now is portion it up. Falling off the bone. Then you're going to add your soup mix, your barley, your split peas, your vegetables. So this is the easiest but the best soup mix you're going to get. You poach your chicken in your stock with your vegetables, you add your soup mix, and the best thing about it, you've got a beautiful broth for the rest of the week. And that stock is to die for. How is it, Lily?
Super delicious. That's mine.
Oh.
She took my line.
So that's our whole poached chicken and soup veg with split peas, barley and lentils. You can feed the family for under $5 a portion.
Super delicious.
Welcome back to 7 News. The Cowboys have parted ways with the second high-profile club figure in less than 2 weeks after recruiting manager Clint Zammit, the man who discovered Jason Taumalolo, signed with the Newcastle Knights. Now, North Queensland have more pressing contract concerns, though, as the search continues for the club's new coach.
Jeff Ribel's a busy man. Today he was launching the club's defence jersey, but at the top of his to-do list, find Paul Green's replacement.
We're working through that process now. We won't sit on our heels about it, but we won't be rushed. And we would like to think that we'd have a coach in place before the end of the season.
For now, Josh Hannay's North Queensland's man. Rival NRL coaches are singing his praise.
Credit to Josh's team. He seems to have done a good job with them so far. And they're certainly playing with a lot of spirit.
Enough to scare last year's grand finalists.
Straight down Main Street.
The effort's definitely there. You know, the past 2 weeks, everyone's been putting in for each other.
One part of me is immensely proud. The other is immensely frustrated and angry.
Because North Queensland failed to land the killer blow in an arm wrestle with Canberra, who would prevail by 2.
We were very lucky to win.
At some point, as a footballer, no matter what level of experience you are, you need to grow up and you need to do your job in big moments particularly.
It's another loss, but the outcome of this ugly tackle was a win. John Asiata avoided any serious injury, while Ben Hampton impressed at 5'8" after being overlooked for the starting side for 7 matches.
Kicking stones doesn't really get you back in the side, so I've learnt to look at your game, look at the areas where you need to improve.
Jessica Stewart, 7 News.
Meanwhile, Senior Community Rugby League returned on the weekend with brothers Townsville securing a maiden victory in the Mackay competition. South's Mackay were no match for the brethren at Jack Manskey Oval. But Townsville's other club, the North Devils, struggled in their long road trip to Mackay, losing to the Carltons 48-10. Western Suburbs have quickly made up for the club's slow start in Townsville rugby, going undefeated since the season's restart. But it's Teachers West who remain the TDRU's benchmark after demolishing the Burdekin to extend their lead on top of the ladder.
Just one club has managed to win 6 straight TDRU titles, but Teachers West are hoping to become the second. After taking out the last 5 premierships, the Bulldogs haven't taken a backward step. Their latest victory, a 68-0 romping of the Burdekin. It's their biggest victory so far this season. Switching to hockey, and West's have atoned for round 1's loss to Brothers, reversing the scoreline in their first encounter since the COVID relaunch.
We sort of played a lot of possession game tonight, and that was the game plan, and we executed that very well.
We've got a young team this year, but certainly a talented team. For us, it's all about gelling and learning how to play a structured game. So West are one of the best teams at it. They always put on a good, strong game.
Up 1-0 at half-time, a late set play from West sealed the victory.
It shows that we can, continue playing the hockey that we want to play. It's short season this year, so we want to be able to get on top of that pretty quick before the finals start to come around.
While Brothers took plenty of positives from the match.
We certainly did a lot better coming out of defence that game, and then a little bit of creativity and individualism in the midfield.
In the other game, Commercials and Parks couldn't be separated with a 1-1 draw. Jessica Stewart, 7 News.
Cluden Park will host its biggest card of the year tomorrow ahead of next week's Townsville Cup, with more than 130 horses to run across 11 races. And back for his best bets, it's our resident expert, Russell Leonard.
That's right, Nathan. Cluden the venue for racing in Queensland tomorrow. What about this? 11 races set down for decision. The track's in great order. Naturally an early start, 10:58. Confident we can come up with a winner or two as we profile my best bets for tomorrow's card. Early mail specials, and we kick up in race number 4. Hero like TB number 5 in Silent Explorer. Well, he's had no luck at his past 2. This looks ripe for the picking tomorrow. I do think he'll return to the winner's stall, and Justin Stanley does the riding. The Stephen Massingham stable with Silent Explorer. Then to race 10, Hero like Horse 3, Bring It Home Pop. He looked awesome winning at Callaghan Park in Rockhampton last start, winning by a big margin and running time. I do think he'll go back to back, and Peng Galley does the riding for the Hanson Yard with Bring It Home Pop. Well, there they are, panels, my good things. So Townsville, Silent Explorer and Bring It Home Pop. You stick with them and you'll finish with the cash. And if having a bet, do so responsibly. Good luck, good punning, and we'll catch you at the races tomorrow.
Good on you, Russ. Bring It Home Pop. I like the sound of that horse. I'm going to back that tomorrow, guys. Beauty.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, we'll stay with us after the break. Livio has all the weather details for us.
Major new revelations in Madeleine McCann's disappearance, all leading to one person. The hunt for the prime suspect tonight.
When you've earned a little treat, head into Macca's for your weekly deal. Grab a small cheeseburger meal with an extra cheeseburger for just $5. Only on the My Macca's app. Hurry in, ends this Sunday.
DGH Engineering requires staff for the Mackay, Emerald and Bowen Basin regions. If you're a qualified supervisor, boilermaker, rigger, fitter or TA, we want to hear from you. Send resumes to jobs@dghengineering.com.au.
Winter feels so much more cosy with 50% off at Plush.
Shop in showroom or online, now with 48 months interest-free.
That's a knife.
We asked where the man from down under has been hiding.
You have a knife, but mine's bigger. That's not the line.
That is certainly Paul Hogan.
I still got it.
It's back. The demand has been overwhelming. We've listened and the massive 30% off sale is back. That's 30% off the entire Patio World range. Last chance, as we're not able to continue with this massive discount. Call now.
Advertising's changed over the last few years since we began. We started off with radio, TV, buses. Our website has been very important to us. However, we've never been able to get it correct. But this is where local search helps me. Getting everything behind the scenes correct to actually push me up top and get me up there on top of Google.
Nurses are the heroes of our healthcare system, on the front line, getting the job done, making a difference. Sound like you? Study nursing at JCU. Apply to start studying now. There's a place for you at JCU.
Is there something wrong with the track?
Play what we just recorded in reverse. Call my name, I'll be there in a hurry.
And the Aussie taking on the world's biggest stage, blindfolded. America's Got Talent, Tuesday 7:30 on 7.
Crack the case with Martin Shaw.
I have told you all I can.
But not all you know. Inspector George Gently. Tonight on 7/2.
Discover something new. Streaming for free on 7+.
Good evening, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. Nights have warmed up across Queensland and the frost is all but gone. And so is most of the rain, except for a few stubborn lingering showers in the wet tropics. So make the most of the balmy weather before the next major rain event affects all of us towards the end of this week. Temperatures today were mild across the board, no extremes, with Townsville ranging from 14 to 25 degrees, almost bang on average. Top in Charters Towers was 27 after a low this morning of 10. For the time being, the satellite loop is quite featureless. There's still some low cloud, of course, around the Kasserine coast, where showers have actually been quite solid overnight, but they're on their way out, and tomorrow there'll probably be just a little trickle left over. The rest of the state is basically drying up now. Over the next few days, though, we'll see some more cloud thicken up from the west, and eventually Thursday, Friday, it could actually bring a good amount of rain to most of eastern Queensland after it drenches the west, which needs it also. On today's chart now, you can see it's a weakening ridge pattern. So we've got southeasterlies, it's an onshore breeze, plenty of moisture, so the nights are warmer, but it's not strong anymore like it was a day or two ago because the high is starting to get closer and it's weakening down to 1,022 now. Tomorrow's chart, the high weakens even further as it moves north, and in its vicinity the winds go almost light and variable, so there'll be hardly any wind at all, so coastal waters will be nice and smooth. On the outlook chart, though, we see the next in a system of troughs move across central Australia, which by Thursday, Friday will enter western Queensland to start increasing the rain. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau. The boating forecast for Townsville waters, southeast to northeast winds, just 10 to 15 knots. That's for tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday, much the same, but a bit more northeasterly. Full moon tide tomorrow with a high in the morning, a strong run out to the afternoon low, and an even faster rise to the really big high tide much later in the evening. The Herberton Noah Burdekin, tomorrow we've got a partly cloudy day but no rain. Townsville 15 up to 25 degrees, Ayr and Ingham 26. Northern Goldfields and Upper Flinders fine and mostly sunny with Charters Towers ranging 14 to 27 degrees and Georgetown a top of 30. Looking ahead for Townsville, the heat starts building up during the second half of this week, especially at night, leading to some potential rain on Friday, Saturday before temperatures stabilise again. And that's all for this evening, my friends. Pleasure to have your company once again, and thanks for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be back tomorrow with more on the saga. Hope you can join me then. Now it's back to the team.
Yeah, Luke, good on you, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks for your company, and see you tomorrow night.
And just a reminder that you can watch a replay of our news on 7+. From all of us, good night.
Good night.
Tonight in 7 News, Melbourne's